Car people, what's going on? I haven't made a video in a while, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. I know the last thing I did was brakes on the ST, but as you can see, there's a very important mod right here that's a lot cooler than brakes. Pun was not intended. Anyways, I just got back from Grid Life Midwest, where I was with Yuri and our pal Levi from the track. And Yuri was actually competing in time attack at Grid Life, which was pretty cool. But I didn't really film anything for the YouTube channel while I was there because there was just so much going on. Yuri was competing, so like Levi and I were kind of like watching him, and then we were watching everything else that was going on. It was a pretty crazy weekend. We were there for the past 4 days, and finally I'm home, and I have this, which is an intercooler for the Focus ST. This particular intercooler is built by Depo Racing down in California, USA, and they basically produce the best bang per buck intercooler for the 2013 and up Focus STs. This particular model is a 3.5-inch upgraded intercooler. Depo Racing also builds a 5-inch intercooler, which is like crazy. I can't see you needing that unless you were building like a 500 horsepower 2.3 stroker motor Focus ST. Like, that's just crazy. Or if you have a car that this intercooler would fit in, I guess that's also a good option. But this intercooler in particular is a direct bolt-on replacement for the stock intercooler on the Focus ST. And for those of you that don't know, the stock intercooler is really, really small. We're gonna see it later in this video, I'll pull it out. And it heat soaks really easily. Like in the summertime, when the car gets hot, it's losing 20 or more wheel horsepower because of how much it heat soaks in the summer sun, especially at the track. So that was my main reasoning for picking up this mod as like my first mod instead of like going with a tuner or an exhaust. I decided to pick something function over form, and this will absolutely improve the function of the ST. It's not necessarily going to give it more horsepower, it's just going to make the horsepower that it's meant to be making all the time. So whether it's hot or cold, more so when it's hot, it's not going to affect the car like it has, and the car will be cranking out its peak horsepower, peak torque, no matter what the temperature, no matter how hard it's running. It'll be doing great with this intercooler. Just a quick disclaimer before I do get too far into this video. This isn't like a how-to or a tutorial video. I'm not going to be showing you guys how to get the front bumper off the ST and taking everything apart, but I'll film the steps along the way of me doing it. You know, like, I don't need to do a tutorial because there's hundreds of them on YouTube already, but I would like to do my own install video on the intercooler for the ST. So I'm not going to be showing you how to do it, I'll just be showing you me doing it. Does that make sense? Probably not, but whatever, let's get into it. Okay guys, so as you can see, the ST is already up in the air, jacked up on jack stands. And I'm going to start by basically removing everything along here, including both headlights, and then some of the under paneling needs to come out, and we should have the bumper off. Hopefully it doesn't give me any problems, and this doesn't take very long. So on to the next step. Okay guys, so as you can see, the front bumper's off. It was about as easy as every tutorial on YouTube makes it look. It really wasn't that hard at all. Next, all this rubber damming needs to come off. These fins have to come out as well so that the bigger intercooler can fit. Here's the little stock intercooler. It's maybe 1.5 inches wide. I'll pull it out and we'll do a full comparison with the other one once I've got it out. Next step is getting rid of all this rubber in the way. Here we have the stock intercooler versus the Depo Racing intercooler. So as you can see, not only is the Depo Racing intercooler significantly taller than stock, but it's also significantly thicker than stock. This is a huge, huge difference. Like, look at how tiny this stock intercooler is. No wonder these things have a huge problem with heat soaking. Now that the stock intercooler is out of the car, the last thing I need to do before installing the new one is I need to move this map sensor from the stock intercooler to the Depo Racing intercooler. I also need to install the mounts that come with the Depo Racing intercooler that match these factory mounts So that way this intercooler is a direct bolt-on. It uses all the factory hardware that's on the car to mount the new bigger intercooler. Alright guys, so here's what the front of the car looks like right now with the stock intercooler gone. It sits right along there. There's the 2 pipes that we need to line up to get this big Depo Racing Boy in. I already lined up the hardware and installed it on the Depo Racing intercooler. Now as you can see, I'm going to use the jack to lift it up into place, and then just got to bolt it in and attach those 2 hoses, and that's it for installing. Then we have to put the bumper and everything else back on. So we're getting there, one step at a time. Holy smokes. After a absolute buttload of messing with the fasteners for this intercooler, like literally like an hour and a half, just making sure that the fasteners were in the right spots, lined up, and the right fasteners were in place to hold this thing. Like, god dang, that took me forever. It wasn't hard, I just didn't know what I was doing, so it took longer. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The intercooler is in the ST. Now, something I did off camera was basically put the whole bumper back on. I started the car up, I revved it to see if it could build boost. It can in fact build boost, which means we don't have a boost leak, which means I put the intercooler in correctly. Again, I'm not doing a tutorial, so if you want to know how I did it exactly, there's plenty of tutorials online. But yeah, it's in. So the next thing to do is drop this baby down and take it for a little bit of a test drive. Okay guys, I took the car for a little rip, did a little pull up to like 110, got full boost going, and it's holding boost, so that's really good. I kept an eye on that boost gauge just to make sure that it was going where it normally should. As far as the car, like the feeling of the car, it didn't feel a whole lot different. Like maybe better throttle response just from having some colder air go into the motor. Like this is basically like a cold air intake after the cold air intake kind of thing. Like the air going from the intercooler into the engine is the last air that's going to be cooled down. So this is like a cold air intake mod, but like times 10 kind of thing. Like this is going to make sure that the intake temps are super low and the car is going to run as efficiently as it can on the stock tune. I didn't film anything because just around the corner from my house, a cop got nailed by a pedestrian car. So there was cops flying up and down the road and that. So I just thought, you know what, I'll just go for a little rip around the corner. I'll go away from where the cops are at, do a little rip, come home. So I didn't want to have the camera in my hand or anything like that. Like, I don't want to give a cop any excuse to pull me over kind of thing. But anyway guys, that's the latest mod on the Focus ST. I'm actually going to do an update video because I did a couple like aesthetic mods in the spring that I didn't show you guys. So I'll do an update video to go over those little things and just like this current status of the ST and what the future plans are with the ST. I'm going to stop talking now because I don't want to get into like anything else that the other video is going to cover. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Like the video, dislike the video, whatever you want to do, subscribe, and we'll see you next time I do a video, which is unscheduled. So let me know if you want a scheduled upload schedule, because maybe I'll do like a video a month, a video every 2 weeks, something like that. Let me know. All right, see you guys.